And it is always great to welcome back our next guest. We had a chance to not only talk to her back in December, but had a chance to see her out in Las Vegas, and she's going to be coming to Florida. That's good news. She'll be doing a show nearby us in the Tampa Bay area, Sarasota area, up in Spring Hill, coming up this Sunday, which is the 28th of the 27th of January, 6 o'clock show at the Palace Grand Theater. We'll find out about that. Great to welcome back our friend, great singer, actress, and author, Deana Martin. How are you, Deana?
I am excellent, Doug. It's nice to talk to you again.
It is. We had a chance not only to chat back, I guess it was late November. I was checking the archives. Late November we chatted, but before your show out in Vegas. And first of all, I want to say thank you again. It was a fun night out at the in Las Vegas, seeing your show at the Performing Arts Center, and thank you for mentioning my name. That was very nice of you.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and it was fun. That was actually my first time at the Smith Center.
Smith Center, right?
Smith Center Performing Arts Center. So it's a beautiful facility, isn't it?
It really was. I didn't know where it was until I got out there, did a little Googling, and fortunately there was a bus that could take me there. I didn't have a car, but it's right down, I guess a little off the strip near downtown, the downtown part of Las Vegas, but beautiful theater.
Yes, and we stayed at the Golden Nugget, so it was right around the corner from it, and
right.
It's just a beautiful place, and they invited me back for next Christmas.
Oh, great, okay. Well, I was going to ask you if you're going to be back. I know you're going to go back in Vegas in the summertime. I saw on your website you go to another hotel out there, so great. So that'll be fun.
Yes, I'm excited about that. I think that's sometime in
June, I think.
Yeah,
June or July.
In July, the 21st, South Point.
South Point,
South Point Casino, so I'll be there for a couple of days, and that's a wonderful room. So I'm excited about that, too. You just can't keep me down.
No. That's where Jerry used to do the telethon the last few years at the South Point.
That's exactly right, and it's absolutely a beautiful room that they have, and it's always so nice to stay in the hotel where you're working, so you don't have to get
a lot easier.
It's a lot easier just walking down in one of my beautiful gowns.
How was the playing that place, the Smith Center in Vegas? It was kind of a cabaret room, which was very nice, kind of intimate room. And do you like that kind of room?
It was a lot of fun because I have played other rooms like that, and I think they call it the Jazz and Cabaret,
right?
Jazz and Cabaret room, and it was a little bit different than the Performing Arts Centers, of course, and the casinos, but it was very nice. It reminded me kind of Feinstein's in New York, and then also it's almost it's more intimate, like the Raz Room in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it's Catalina's Jazz Club that I play in Hollywood, like that. So it's more intimate, and it's really a lot of fun just to walk up to the tables. I mean, they don't even have the stage where you can walk out onto the stage. You have to come from the dressing rooms, which is in the back of the place, in back of the theater, and then you just walk through the audience, and that's so much fun.
Yeah, you came down and you do a couple of numbers where you go out into the audience and have them be part of it. So yeah, I know a lot of performers like that kind of room, maybe over the larger rooms at times. I just wondered what you thought about it.
Well, you know what is fun for me? It's playing all these different venues.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm at a symphony, with the 88-piece orchestra and these beautiful symphony halls, it's a little more formal, but it's so beautiful. And, of course, the sound is always unbelievable. When you've got 88 musicians behind you, that's always a treat. And
oh,
then
yeah.
to go, and then the Performing Arts Centers, of course, and I've been to Sarasota. There is it the Van Wezel?
Van Wezel, yep, that's it. Yeah, you got to come back down. Get that on your schedule again. The people down here are asking for you.
Well, we are. I think we have quite a lot of things planned for this coming year and next year, of course. But we will be in Port St. Lucie on I think it's Friday or Saturday.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, and so that will be a big outdoor event, and it's called A Taste of Italy. So that's a little different venue. People are all out, just having fun. And so actually, you had mentioned that I go out into the audience, and I will be going out into the audience to have them sing, a little audience participation. And then the Palace Theater, it's called the Palace Theater, I believe, in
Palace Grand
Spring
in
Hill.
Spring Hill, yeah.
The Palace Grand, and so that will be my first time there, and I'm not sure what that looks like yet. I don't know. Have you ever been there?
I haven't been there myself. I'm gonna be up there to see you Sunday, so we'll both find out together.
Okay, that's a deal.
Just checking their website, it looks like it's a nice resort on top of the theater. I think it's a whole resort area. So.
Yes, so that will be wonderful. I won't have very much time there, because we leave here on Thursday, and then I'm going to be the Grand Marshal on Friday for a Taste of Italy. So that Friday night thing, I will go and see everybody and start the festival. And then the next day I do my show. And then, of course, the next day we drive up to Spring Hill. So I really won't be able to see too much, but I will definitely be visiting with you up at
Yeah, we'll look
Palace
forward
Grand.
to seeing you there. And again, it's a 6 o'clock start. Is that right? I want to make sure I get the time right for the folks in the area.
On Sunday, yes, it's earlier. So that will be... And that's nice. You know, people can get home early on a Sunday night and have already seen a show.
And there's no football, so there's no excuse not to go up.
That's exactly right.
In between the Super Bowl and the last week, it's the off week, so it's a good Sunday to go out and see a show.
It would be a fabulous Sunday. In fact, we just came back from yesterday. We got back from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down there for it was a nice big benefit for the Louisiana Italian Sports Hall of Fame. And so Vince Ferragamo was there with me, and and Lena, she received an award. So it was a wonderful night. But I tell you, they are getting ready for Super Bowl and Mardi Gras, and I've never seen a town so packed in my life. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Well, not as crazy as it's going to be, next week, but those people in New Orleans, they know how to party.
Oh, they do.
Oh, yes, they do.
I don't think we ever talked about it before, but are you a big sports fan? I know you're into fitness and all that, but do you follow sports, or have you followed sports?
Yeah, pretty much. And I love it. I've always been athletic, and I love to watch the football games and baseball and basketball, and of course, who doesn't love watching the Olympics and all of that?
Sure.
But it was fun to be there, and Vince Ferragamo and his wife Jody are very dear friends, and he was a Super Bowl. Gosh, what year was that?
Played for the Rams in the '79 Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right, and so I mean, he's a huge, and his wife knows everybody. I mean, she's so funny to watch a game with. So people have no excuse. They have got to come to the show on Sunday, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Who's going to be with you, musician-wise, Tina? Is it Vinny?
Yeah. Well, no, we don't have Vinny. We have Rick Creevy.
Okay.
And Rick Creevy, he will be the musical director. Did you make it to when I was at the Seminole Hard Rock in where was it? In Fort Lauderdale a couple months ago?
No, I didn't get a chance to get over there. No.
Oh, you didn't get to go over there. Well, I had Rick play for me, and Rick Creevy is unbelievable. Musical conductor, and he's played on all of my albums.
Oh, great!
So
okay.
So he knows all of the music, of course, and he's a good singer. So he'll do a few duets with me, and that'll be fun. So it'll be a little bit different, of course. All of the same great music that we've always been singing and recording, and trying to get some new things in there, of course. And we will be going back to Florida in February, talking again with Charlie Colello, and getting some new arrangements for new songs, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, to do some recording.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We have to have another album out.
That's right. You said at the Vegas show you have one coming out. You did a song with your dad, a duet that's going to be on it, right?
Yes, True Love, and so we're also looking for a couple new songs, and I have some other ones picked out, and we'll be doing Read Between the Lines, which was written by my friend Joseph Baldessar, and it's a great song. And, so I'm looking forward to that. It's always fun to go into the studio and have great musicians and wonderful arrangements, and you have to keep doing the work.
Oh, yeah. And now you record in a studio in Miami. Is that where you do the recording?
Yes, we do. We do in both places. We do in Miami, and we'll do some of the tracks, and then at the, what is it called? Criteria, the Hit Factory.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Capitol Records and do some there in Hollywood, of course, and use my dad's microphone, which is always so much fun.
That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's really amazing for me to stand there and record when I'm looking at that microphone, and singing into the microphone that my dad used. So it's quite overwhelming sometimes.
There's some great video on YouTube. I think a couple of segments where you're taking a tour, and not a tour, but I mean they show you in the Capitol studios. You're kind of showing people around where your dad recorded, where you recorded. It's really fun to watch that.
Oh, thank you. It is, and I think I walked up to was it Nat? Let me see, Nat King Cole's piano.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
think
did the
that was
tour
it.
there. Yeah, so that's wonderful, and just to remember all of those people, and when you're in that studio, to know all of the people that have recorded there, it's quite amazing.
It is, and a lot of the recordings your dad made, of course, Frank, and all the Capitol artists. I don't know. I guess they don't do it as much now as they used to, just for financial reasons. But they used to have the whole orchestra right in the room together. They did the whole thing live, didn't they? A lot of those recordings.
Yes, they did. And of course now, and Michael Bublé is there now, and let's see who else. Oh, Paul McCartney and Diana Krall. So everybody, they still go to Capitol, and a lot of them do have the big orchestras, but it has gotten really out of sight with the expense now. But it's still great sounding music, and just the energy at Capitol Records is so wonderful. And of course we have Al Schmidt, who has the one who mixes all my records, and I think he has 20 Grammys himself.
Wow.
So yeah, he's an amazing arranger, and he does all of Diana Krall and Paul McCartney and Michael Bublé and Willie Nelson, and you name it. It's everybody. So it's a wonderful place to be.
The Grammy's coming up in a couple of weeks on TV. I tell you, I've loved music, as you know, and I guess our music that we like, unfortunately, we don't see on TV as much as we should. So I don't watch the Grammys anymore because it's not my cup of tea. But I miss the older days where you at least got to see some jazz and standards on that show.
Exactly, and it was wonderful. And now music's gone in a different direction. Although I voted for the Grammys, and I voted for all the songs that I love.
Oh, you get to vote? Oh, that's interesting. How does that work? As a performer, you get a chance to vote then? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, well, I am. Well, you also have to be a member of NARAS. So it's the National Association of Recording Artists. And so if you're a member of that, it's like being a member of SAG or AFTRA.
Okay.
And you pay your dues. And so, and if you're, when you're caught up in your dues, you're a member. And so you of course, vote for all of the music that is out there, and it's there's a lot of music out there.
Oh yeah.
And you really have to sit down and listen to all of the songs that are nominated. And first, it goes through a huge process. They send you a very large book, or you can do it online. You see all of the albums that have been put out in that year, and then you listen to all the songs, and then you nominate the ones that you think should be nominated, and that goes into the National Academy, and then they send back the ones that have been nominated, and then you vote on those. So it's quite a long process.
Do they do a lot of lobbying like you see for the Oscars, where you see the ads, for your consideration? The same thing?
Oh, yes. In Billboard magazine, oh, yes. And people are sending out their albums, and they're asking for your vote, and it's quite something. So we will see, and then we have no idea who's going to win. And there's a board, and actually Al Schmidt is on that board. People who, run NARAS, and it's an exciting, complicated process.
Yeah, I was wondering how that worked. So that's interesting.
Oh,
you get a chance to listen online now. I guess that makes it a little easier. So it's fun to do.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And so you just sit there and you listen to the music and you go, oh, you're kidding me. This was nominated. No. And then other ones you say, oh, my gosh, I had no idea this was going to be that good. So you hear new product, and if you haven't been listening to that particular station or that particular genre of music, you really don't know what's out there.
And if you just watch TV and listen to whatever they call top 40 radio today, you think all the music is rap. There's a lot of other stuff out there.
Exactly, and it all sounds the same to me, and I say, well, who is that?
I have no idea.
It seems to me, and I don't know, I hate to say anything bad, but they all sound alike to me.
Yeah. I grew up 70s, listening to top 40, kind of the tail end of top 40, but you sort of knew the songs, you knew the artists back then, but once top 40 radio ended, for the most part, the whole business changed, as you know, but it's just different.
No, I know. It's nothing is really like the old days.
No.
You've got your radio show, and you're keeping it all alive. And
Trying
that's
to.
What's exciting. Yeah. Oh, no, I know, and it's important. And what a treat it is for all of us. You know, it was funny, I was in New York in November, and I had just finished doing all the PR for my dad. You know, they're putting out, Time Life is putting out Dean's Ultimate Collection, and it's the Dean Martin Variety Show. It's a whole set, and it has a book, a collectible book, and 17 DVD set.
Wow.
Like over 32 hours of the Dean Martin Show. And so I was doing a lot of radio shows for him, you know, for PR, and I think I did probably 30 in 2 hours. It was quite amazing.
Was it one of those kind of satellite things where just every 10 minutes a new station pops in? Yeah.
Yes, actually, and it was every 8 minutes, and I was fit to be tied after the 2 hours. And then John said, well, you know, we're going over to Patsy's restaurant. I said, really? I said, I'd really rather just go back to the hotel, not talk to anybody. He says, oh, I think you'd like to come here. And I said, all right. So we go, and Michael Bublé was there and wanted to have lunch. And so we went up, and we had the best time with him. And he is just, because we're talking about, you know, great music, and I think that Michael Bublé is a wonderful singer. He picks, you know, fabulous songs, and he is carrying on the tradition. And it was so cute when I saw him. He said, oh, my God, I can't believe I'm meeting Deana Martin. And I said, oh, my God, I can't believe I'm meeting Michael Bublé. And we had the best time. And he said, Deana, he said, people say that that I'm trying to emulate Frank Sinatra. He said, it's not. He said, Dean Martin has been my favorite since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And it was so nice. He sang all of Dad's songs, and it was we had a wonderful time. But he is one who is carrying it on. And, you know, so, I mean, we have people who are coming up in the world who are wonderful singers and who are carrying on the Great American Songbook and singing in the fashion that, you know, that I love.
You had a nice picture with him on Facebook. I saw you with you and Michael. Rosario posted it. I remember around the holidays.
That's right. He's a doll. He's absolutely a doll. So we're out there plugging away.
Now that DVD set, is that out yet for the Dean Martin Roast?
The DVD
variety
set
show
is
rather.
Out. Yes, and actually people can go to Time Life.
Okay.
And you know, they can get it online, and that is great. And so there's so many people in it. But what a treat, you know, to have the collectible book and all those DVDs, all the incredible art. You know, Jack Benny, Roy Rogers, Lucille Ball, Jonathan Winters,
yeah.
Bill Cosby, and it goes on and on. So it's, well, they say, you know, over 32 hours.
That's one whole set. It's not the where you get a DVD every month or two. It's the whole entire set. This is a little different.
No,
then.
it's right there. It's
great.
One, yeah, and it, you know, Dean's Ultimate Collection. So that's kind of fun.
I will check that out and get that because I love those infomercials that come on and where they had the other one where you got the individual shows every once in a while. But this is the entire set, so that's gonna be great.
Right. Yes, and the book, and so it's all there, and it just looks pretty. So it actually it came out just at Christmas time, so it was a wonderful Christmas gift.
Yeah.
But it's something that you can get all year round.
That's right, and there's a dearth of actually no variety shows on TV anymore than maybe some of the late night shows occasionally. So pop that in, and you go back in time a little bit to a better time in television anyway.
Yeah, I think so. You know, and I don't know how they did it really. You know, all those musical numbers, and it was week after week. It was quite remarkable, and all the costumes, and all the musicians, and the artists, and then the sketches. You know, the little skits that they would do.
Yeah. I think we maybe talked about it before, I'm not sure, but your dad, in addition, obviously great solo singer and working with the comedians and all that and the sketches, but really worked so well with any other singer in those great duets, which I think he's a little bit underrated as a singer with somebody else. He did a great job with that.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and he was so generous and so easy to to sing with. But I mean, he was just easy in life, and just natural and funny. So he's the only one I think that ever could have pulled off a TV show like that for that many years, and people just loved him coming into their living rooms on Thursday nights. So it's just great.
Thursday at 10, if I remember right. I think on NBC.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, remember that.
Yes, you have to. And so it's all that great music, and for me, what a treat to be able to go out and sing all of this music and keep the memories alive and make new memories for people. And the audiences are just loving it, and it's quite something for me to go out after the show and sign autographs and talk to people and hear their stories, and it's people of all ages. And you came out after the show, and
people don't want to leave; they want to talk to you.
No, they didn't want to leave.
And you were hungry. You had to go to dinner.
I know. I was so hungry, and then I had a glass of wine. Finally, I don't know what time it was, but everybody else got to be, watching the show and having a little cocktail, and I have to be up there, singing, which is so much fun. But it was so nice to see you there, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to get to you.
Oh, that's okay. No, I don't. Sat with some nice folks that live out there, and we chatted and had some cheesecake and coffee while I watched the show. It was a nice, comfortable place to see a show. So it was fun.
Yes, that was fun. Of course, standing, waiting to come out onto the stage, all the waiters and waitresses are passing by with the food. They're going back and forth. It was a wonderful experience, and I think people should definitely, if they're in Vegas, go check that out.
Well, if you're in the area here in Florida, obviously people listen to us locally, but also everywhere on the podcast. Check out Deana this Sunday at Spring Hill. It's the Palace Grand Theater. You can just check that out online, Palace Grand Theater, and it's a 6 o'clock show. And what I liked so much about your show, Deana, obviously the solo and the byplay with you and Vinny and the musicians, but you do what your dad did, the door, where people you might have a surprise guest, and you had one out there, which was fun to meet him, Dennis Bono. I enjoyed meeting him.
Isn't he wonderful?
Yeah.
And he's a great singer, and he's so he's a good guy, and he's married to our dear friend, the Lieutenant Governor.
That was fun to meet her. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't she something? So it's I love going to Las Vegas. I love going to Florida. I have absolutely the best job in the world.
You do.
To be able to I really do. To go to all these different places, meet all these wonderful people, and Dennis Bono has a radio show in Vegas.
Yep. That
he does live at the South Point, and that's where I'm going to be doing my show in July at the South Point at the South Coast. South Point.
South Point. That's it. Yep.
South Point. Yeah. And so he does his show on Thursday afternoons, and he has a wonderful. He has actually my bass player, and it's Bob Sachs, and then he has my drummer, and so he's Mike Meacham. So he has a great. I guess he has a quartet there, and so I'll go in the day before I'm doing the show and do his radio show, and he always has wonderful talent on there, and he has such a wonderful way about him, and it's a fun show to do.
Yeah, I'm going to. I got his card, and I told him I'd give him a call. He's going to come on with me one of these days. We'll chat. I'm looking forward to that. Nice guy. We talked in the hallway after the show, actually before and after. So look forward to talking with him. And he did a duet with you, and we won't give anything away. But anytime Deana does a show, somebody could just pop in and join you on stage, right?
That's exactly right. And you missed the time when Mary Wilson came out, and I said, "Oh my gosh," because I hadn't seen.
Oh, in the Vegas recently? Did she come out?
Yeah,
oh, good.
She came out, and so what fun! And she sang "Lady Is a Tramp" with me.
Wow.
And I'm saying, "Oh my God!" Here we are in Vegas, and one of the Supremes walks out. And
That's right.
That was really a lot of fun.
I know John had said that Mitzi Gaynor was actually in town that night, and she may stop by. She didn't that night. I didn't know if she'd stop by another night at all.
Well, you know what? She was actually in the at the Performing Arts Center part. So she was because there was another show going on at the same time, and it was I believe it was the opening night for the ballet.
Ballet, right?
That was there.
Yeah.
And so she had to be there, and he told me after the show. He said, you know, Mitzi almost came out on stage to do something. I said, oh, I wish she had.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess she had to leave the next day. But she came to my show in Los Angeles at Catalina's, and what a treat to see her. I mean, just and she looked fabulous.
I had a chance to interview her maybe a year and a half ago. She was just going back out on tour again, and I'd always enjoyed her work just from watching her on TV. I never really got to see her in person until a little bit later on, but I guess she might have been in her 60s then, and she still did a great show. So, very good
yes,
performer.
and what an unbelievable, you know, figure, and what a great singer. And you know, she was on my dad's show.
Yeah.
And I remember her from what is it, South Pacific.
South Pacific. Yeah.
And you know, all the I'm gonna wash that man right out of my. But she was just, and she, I mean, she is an incredible entertainer. And, you know, I'm blessed to know all these people.
There's a great DVD out of when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, and she's on that second show where they came down to Miami. I don't know if you ever saw that one, Deana. And she actually got top billing over the Beatles that week, and it's a great DVD if you see her performance on that. Brilliant.
Oh, well, I have to get that.
Yeah, there's the 4 Beatles shows on Ed Sullivan. It's a package set, kind of like your dad's set they did about 5-6 years ago, and she's on that. And of course, she did those great specials for many years on CBS. She said they were going to put them out on DVD, but they're not out yet. Hopefully, they'll put those out too. That was great television.
And you know, her she has 2 great producers, two wonderful young guys who are friends of mine now, and it's Shane Rosamanda and Renee Reyes, and they have really kind of taken over with her, and they're, you know, they take her everywhere, and they've produced a couple of her shows, and they're doing the DVD, and they're just wonderful, wonderful producers, and they're the ones who are getting her out there, and you know, they took her to Feinstein's in New York, and then she played. Where did I play? It's Cerritos Performing Arts Center, and you know, so she's traveling around doing this, and she's just an amazing human being. So I will get those DVDs and watch her.
Yeah, I know her dad, or her husband, I should say, was her producer for, I guess, as long as they were married. He passed away a couple of years ago, so I'm glad she's out there performing again. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
and she really didn't realize that it's more difficult now with security, and you can't have a lot of luggage.
No.
Because she was used to people bringing all of her stuff. And times have changed. But, you know,
well, you mentioned that in the show, just in Vegas, just traveling around. Traveling is probably the least favorite part with all the airports you got to go through.
Exactly. And, you know, so it's, you know, in changing planes, and you know, and all the people now in security, they know us. They say, "How you doing? Where are you going today, Deana?" So,
you still have to take off the shoes, though. They don't let you get away with that. You still got to do it, right?
Oh yeah, we always have to take off the shoes, and for some strange reason, and it doesn't seem random to me, but whenever I go through, I go, "Oh, buzz, random." Or I've got to check. Oh yeah, and then they laugh. I said, "This isn't random." But, you know, we have to keep the world safe.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got to put up with it, but
Yeah.
that's just the way to deal with it. I wish I had to leave the next day too, out of Vegas that Sunday night. How did dinner go over at that restaurant? I would have loved to have had a chance to go over there, meet you for dinner, but I couldn't do it that night. There was an Italian restaurant, one of the famous Italian restaurants, wasn't it, in Vegas you went to?
Yes, and was it Pietro's?
Pietro's.
Yes.
Pietro's. I think that was right. Yeah.
And we had a fantastic time. I mean, the food is excellent. In fact, I had the don't laugh. It's called the garbage salad because they put everything in it, and it's you know. So we started with that, but it's quite good, and we just had a wonderful time, and you were missed. So next time we'll go to Pietro's.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I was just in my supposed to be a college reunion kind of thing. It didn't work out that way, but I was there by myself, so I didn't have a car. But we'll do it next time out there. I'd love to And then Dennis's restaurant, he gave me his card. We'll have to go there. That sounds like a fun place out
Yes,
there.
the Bootlegger.
Bootlegger,
and they have excellent food. And we usually go to his restaurant right after we do his radio show. And it's, it's just good. Great people, great food. And as I said, I just have the best job in the world.
And you can see Deana again this Sunday, Spring Hill, Florida, Palace Grand Theater, 6 o'clock show. If you're over in the Port St. Lucie area, if you want to drive across, it's not that far a ride. You can see her this Saturday at the Italian Festival. I guess it's an all-day event, right? Saturday?
I believe so, and I think I'm on at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And 8 o'clock on that Saturday night, and then at 6 o'clock on Sunday. And I'd love for people can go onto my website and check that out and see where we'll be, because we're going to be all over the country this year. But I'd love to see them this weekend, and I can't believe it's already this weekend.
I know. Wow. We just had Christmas.
We just had Christmas. I just
and
got
it's
all
already
my gowns
coming up to spring.
Isn't it? Time flies when you're having a good time, Doug.
Already getting ready for covering spring training down here, so we're already thinking of that. But that'll be a lot of fun. But
yes, it will.
But
you know what? We always have a good time in Florida, and it's there's a lot of venues there, and the people are just great, and they love the music, and we're bringing making new memories for people. And
that's it. Memories are made of this, as your father once sang, as you continue to sing.
I continue to sing it, and I bring up volunteers to sing backup for me, and I haven't gotten you up there yet, have I?
I'm not a great singer. You're taking a chance if you do that, but.
Well, you'd be too tall for the microphone anyway.
That's true. That's true. Deana, our time always goes so fast, but it's always great to talk with you. I look forward to seeing you Sunday. DeanaMartin.com is your website, so people check that out. They got your whole itinerary on there, all your CDs as well. So get a Deana CD. If you didn't get it for Christmas, you got to get it now.
That's right. Thank you so much, Doug, and I can't wait to see you, and we'll have another great time.